Hello everyone, this is Indu. I hope you are doing well. And today is day 24 of our top 100 .NET question series. And today question is why we use migration in anti-framework core. So migration is the way to keep your database schema sync with your C# model. For example, without but problem will be occur if you are not follow migration. For example, if you can make this table student table and in which you can add public int id and string name, but after that if you can change you can add here new field age, but database does not update automatically, so you need to do a migration and to update the database. So like that way we can implement the migration, and it will track all the changes we can do if we add this new column, so it will track all the code. So database does not update automatically, code expect age, so database does not have a age, so that time application will be crashed. So migration detects model changes and generate a SQL script to update the database safely. If we don't use the anti-framework core, we need to manually alter that table. For example, this is a table student table, so we need to manually go and alter. So this is sometimes this is a complex, and it's very Yes, it's a difficult to manage in a big projects. That's why we are using migration to keep our database and code in sync. Whenever entity changes, for example, you are adding any column, you are deleting any column, rename any column, and create any new table. So migration updates database accordingly. It will create a new SQL queries to do a for add, remove, rename, and update database. Uh, so these are the things, and avoid manual SQL queries. Without migration, manually you can write alter table. So this is a risk for human errors and hard to track changes, like which changes we can do. With the migrations anti-framework core, we can use it automatically generate SQL query, and it is a safe and version control for the database. For example, if you are doing a system versioning, so it will all the record what which user can do the which changes in the database. So in big project it's a very easy to find who will work on this, who will do add this migration, who will work on these migrations. So I can show you here. For example, this is my project, and you can see here this is our student table. So if we want to anything in our new table, so what we can do here, for example, I am adding here birthday. So what we can do here, we go to tools here, and we need to add new migration, package manage console. And what we can do here, we need to write here add migration, and we can update these changes, update this table. For example, we are to update student table. So it will create a one file. In every .NET application, there is a one folder, migration folder, where all the migration will be stored. So you can see here this migration I will run, and here I can add new column that name is birthday in students table, because this is the class and actual table, this is the class and actual table name is the students that we can define here in the anti framework or inside the dv set. So this is the migration will be created, and you can see here this is the table. Now here only name is id, name and age, but now we can add it here in this table new column that is a birthday. So I can we need to refresh this table. So now what we can do, we can update it this table. So you can see here columns. First one is, we need to check this is the same database. Student MC. Okay, this is same. So we need to refresh this. and select. Okay, it's not showing because we are not do a update database. So next thing is we can added the migration but not update database. So we need to do here update database. So you can see here updated database. Now you can check and it will be updated in this table. Now we have only three fields. So we need to refresh this and you can see here this field will be added birthday here and it's a data type we can take here int, that's why it's showing int. So like that way we can update it this table, so it will automatically create a ma- alter this table to add alter query to update this table. For example, you can see here will be saved all your migration history. For example, this uh, migration I will be added update student table and this is the migration ID. For example, you can see here we can add a new table. If you want a new table, that is, I will take a student school table name and here I will add public int id string name description is. These all the fields we can add here. So this we will created in our .NET application, but this will not showing here in the our database because we are not add migration or update database to add this table school table in our this database. For example, you can see there is only products table and student table. So our first step is we need to add here in the app db context inside the db set. So we need to add here public db set and our table name is a school and in the database we can give the name schools, any name you can give here, that name will be created in your database. So after adding this I will do next same thing, add migration, and here I will give the migration name. For example, we are adding a new table, add school table, and run the migration. And you can see here this is the migration will be added in our migrations folder. This migration add school table and this is the table name and id is the primary key, name, description, these are the string value, and age is the int value. So you can see here it automatically define id is a primary key. And the next step is to show this table in the database, we can have to do update database. So this table will be created here. So we need firstly we need to refresh this database. So you can see here this table will be created here. So what migration will do, and it's also stored in the migration history DB. In every database we have this table migration history. So our new migration is add school table. It will be stored here. So this is a very commonly asked question in interview, why we use migration and where we can save the migration history. So it will automatically, if we have one table migration history where all the migration will be saved and we have a migration ID and which product version like .NET version we are using. So it will be a track all the changes what we can do, add, update, delete, and automatically it will with the help of anti framework core we can communicate with the help of C objects, and anti framework core automatically create SQL queries. So I think this is a very important question for the freshers. So if you like this video, please like, share and comment.